I just read that MSNBC did 114 million streams in September, and one of the things we want to do in this session is really drill down and try to get a better understanding of what's working, what's not, what are people consuming, how are they consuming it. So maybe you could give us a little bit of color as to what's really driving those 114 million streams.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. For 10 years we've had video on the site, and in the early days it didn't really matter because nobody had enough bandwidth to watch it, and we couldn't afford to serve it. So the bandwidth cost was so high that we would put the video on the site and then hope not too many people would watch it because we didn't have the budget if it became very popular. So bandwidth costs have come down, and the interest has gone up. But at the same time, it's not enough anymore to simply put video out there for people to watch. People expect something more than TV on the web.
They don't want TV for the web. What precisely does that mean? Because it seems like they're getting a lot of TV for the web.
Well, that's the majority of what's out there, and that is certainly driving a lot of streams. That stops short of maximizing all of the capabilities that the web has that can make the TV experience that much richer. So, a lot of the things that we're doing are focused on ways to leverage the capabilities that are inherent in a computer and software in the web to improve the experience.
What's the consumption pattern of video online? Does it follow a traditional page view consumption pattern where you follow links, or is it does programming actually help if you have a player with 10 videos in a row? Do people actually go through 2 or 3 of them in a row? Or what would you say? What are the lessons you've learned about the consumption pattern?
Well, what we've learned is the type of player you're using, the interface that you have, and the way that you make video discoverable has a tremendous influence on what people watch. I mean, people in our site, people get to the video by usually off of a headline, so they're prompted by a headline. But once they're in there, then the left-hand navigation allows them to search for more video. And so what we found was that a year ago, when we had an older player, most of our video consumption was concentrated in sort of a top 50. When we changed the player, made the video more discoverable, the consumption pattern shifted so that we saw a long tail effect of people being able to find video of interest to them that wasn't just the most popular video of the day.
Now, how important is it to make the video embeddable? And let me ask KC about that.
Well, I think it's interesting when you think about MSNBC and 114 million. We did 118 million in September.
Now, wait a second. Are those the Nielsen Video Sense numbers or your own numbers?
Those are the Nielsen numbers.
Okay, so we have a new king here.
No, it's really not about the king. It's about the
Actually, you're sitting next to 5.3 billion. So.
They're really small videos.
Okay.
No, I think it was really the point is that it's real, and the consumption is certainly there. We have a 24/7 live channel that we put out at CNN.com Live, something that we've been experimenting with for 4 or 5 years now. And I think Charlie is right in that the question of how it gets programmed, I think, is probably the next frontier. In that, in a broadcast model, you have a scheduler or a programmer who figures out which shows at what times of the day and the slots. In the online space, it's a question of how much do we determine that for the users versus serve up contextual video or other videos or use recommendation engines or algorithms that would drive that. And so I think that's the balance right now. I think most of us are pushing down the video that we think would make sense to the audience. A lot of the 2.0 companies are letting users make that decision, and my guess is we're going to meet somewhere in the middle, in between a lean-back experience, which is I come in, what's the news of the day, here's some great video about that news, but also allowing users to sort of choose which videos they want to watch and having some of that come up either through videos that others like or videos that are most watched or what have you.
Chad, let me ask you about just video in general.